and I made him watch.
Hello and welcome back to And I Made Him Watch, the podcast where I make my husband watch weird movies of all shapes and sizes. I'm your host, Danny Page. Here with me forever and always, the old ball and chain, my co-host, filmmaker, Troy Allen.
The old ball and chain, huh?
Yeah, I think
Wow.
I've probably used that one before, I think.
I feel like you're the ball and chain.
That's fine. I'll do
You're
that.
just dragging me along through this wacky
True.
world of cinema,
I guess in this situation, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, that would still make you the ball and chain. If I'm dragging you.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess you're right. This time.
Yeah, you
I'll
have
let
no
it slide.
choice. But to be dragged. Sorry. Not sorry. You agreed to do this.
Oof.
So I made you watch Shopping Mall from 1986. It's one of those movies that you can just watch once and that's good enough. It's not a huge hit or very popular among the general B horror audience, but that doesn't make it any less important or, special.
True. I mean, it has a place amongst the, halls of cinema, I guess.
It's somewhere in there.
Yeah.
We found it. We stumbled upon it.
True.
And even though I say, this is a once and hit it and quit it type of thing,
Yeah.
I've seen this movie 3 times now. And I really hope I never have to watch it again. It's fine,
Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but it's up there. It's like if RoboCop had a baby with I don't know, Wrong Turn or something, or Hills Have Eyes.
Ugh. Oh man.
It's gross. Anyways, I mean, the movie's not gross. It's just, it's not a great movie, and I don't know what else to say other than that. So
It's just, it's a movie, and that's all it is. It's nothing to write home about.
Yep.
We saw it, we watched it, we see it for what it is, and we move on. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah, we're going to tell you
We're
all
going to
about
remember it.
and it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, and that's the point of this podcast, is to remember the movies.
Yep.
The bad and the good ones.
Yep.
Because people put effort into this.
They
People
do.
put in work and stuff. So that's
That's what matters.
So in the 1980s, Julie Corman, who is Roger Corman's wife, or her widow currently, because Roger left us some time ago, made a deal with a company called Vestron. Vestron. And they wanted to make a horror movie involving shopping malls. Because why not?
Yeah.
And she asked Jim Wynorski to write it and direct it.
Yeah.
So Jim is known for his exploitation type videos and B horror movies. If you bring up his IMDb page, one of the most recent movies he did is called Velocigator or something.
Oh, wow.
It is, I think, a movie about a velociraptor and a gator hybrid, or it's something along the lines of that. So he's still making his B movies. This is his thing.
Okay.
So he's, it's what he likes to do, and that's what he does.
Yeah. He's out there kicking around.
He's really into horror and titties. That's it.
Well,
that's his thing.
B horror is definitely a genre that is not dead, I would say. I mean,
No.
you see such movies as trying to think of recent ones. I would go so far as to say originally, say when Terrifier first came out, Terrifier was a B horror movie.
Yeah, I would still consider it a B horror movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely gained a huge following since Terrifier 2 and Terrifier 3, but it started out as B horror.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
and honestly, it goes back to that work and that passion, and I think that's the reason why it's become such a big hit.
Yeah.
Because you can see they put the effort into it.
I think what's going to be interesting is like 20 to 30 years from now when we start seeing movies come out whose, filmmakers grew up watching the Terrifier movies or whatever, and to see the influence it's had on those filmmakers and stuff. So
oh yeah,
it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it will.
So Jim teamed up with his friend Steve Mitchell. They had known each other since the 1970s, and together they came up with a story for Chopping Mall in just 24 hours. They thought about making a movie like Phantom of the Mall, but Jim suggested adding robots. He was inspired by a 1954 film called Gog, which I have never heard of.
I've never heard of Gog either.
Before this.
No.
So it's interesting. Gotta look into it.
So the movie begins with a robbery. We see some people breaking into the mall. And it's your typical like jewelry store type of robbery.
Yeah.
But these robbers are snatching stuff, and then we have these robots that appear. Mm-hmm. And you said, what did you say they look like?
I said they look like ugly Dalek babies.
Yeah, they do. They have these very saucer-shaped head with these very bulky bodies. But this whole robbery thing is actually just a display for selling the robots to guard shopping malls. Yeah. That's their one thing they're really pushing to sell these for is shopping mall securities.
Yeah. Could you imagine just being in the mall and you just hear these fucking wee exterminate.
God. No, not if they were actually Daleks. That would be terrifying.
I mean, also the heads kind of remind me of the robot from
Power Rangers.
Well, I was going to say Lost in Space.
Okay, that too. But yeah, Power Rangers, Lost in Space. Yeah.
Very reminiscent of the 80s and 90s, television. So
wasn't the robot name in like Data or something on Power Rangers?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. Which is very sad because I used to really be into
so was I.
Power
I was
Rangers.
A big like original Power Rangers.
Yeah.
That White Ranger had its grip on me. That's pretty bad. So the robots are from a Securtronic Unlimited company, and they're called the Protector 101, and the mall is getting 3 of them. And a week from this display, the robots are actually going to start actually working there. And they tell them that the robots are only to neutralize. There should be no killing.
Yeah.
It should be perfectly safe. Also, for some reason, while the robots are working, the mall has to shut down completely from dusk to dawn. It seems very specific.
Well, it's the door. The door is locked from midnight to dawn.
What did I say?
Dusk.
Dusk. Okay, so midnight. Sorry, I meant to say midnight to dawn.
There's some vampires in there too.
God damn it, Tarantino! Sorry.
Tarantino. But honestly, these protector bots, they feel like a RoboCop ripoff. Like if Ed 209 had some like butt nuggets that came out, and it was just like, drop your weapons. You have 30 seconds to comply.
It kind of, yeah, definitely does.
Yeah. Also, these things are tracked. So they roll around on tracks, and they're like little fucking tanks, dude.
Yeah, they are. It's so stupid because the robots are not built for the terrain this mall is, because the mall they used was the Sherman Oaks Galleria in LA, and it's an open air mall. So there's a lot of stairs.
Yeah.
So using tracks for the robots, it was not the best, decision.
Honestly, tracks, to be fair, tracks are probably the depending on the steepness of the stairs, they're probably the smartest decision, to be honest.
I mean,
because
they never went upstairs. I'm just saying, in the whole movie, they have to use the elevator.
They have to use the elevator.
Yeah.
I mean, these things are pretty big too.
Actually, you know what? No, because I'm pretty sure that Did they use the escalators at one point?
I don't recall seeing them on the escalator, but I'm not saying they didn't.
Well, the whole thing is that they move really fast too, and somehow
True.
they get around this mall and all these stairs really quickly.
Yeah, these things do book it, dude.
They they have lasers, and how they're going to tell the employees apart is through they're supposed to read these ID cards that employees have, so they're allowed to be in the mall.
Yeah. There's this dialogue between this man and woman too during the whole presentation, and it's just such a fucking I don't know, it's kind of a drag because it's so very staged, and I don't know,
it's supposed to be some comic relief.
Yeah, but it's I don't know, they kind of roll their eyes at the same time and stuff, and it's just, I don't know. It doesn't feel very organic, I guess.
No, it definitely didn't. It was very stressed.
Yeah.
So then the intro credits begin, and for these intro credits, we see a lot of mall activities. Like making out, skateboarding, bikini contest. So it's a lot of these just candid shots, quote unquote, of people in the mall. And there's kids running around with no parents. There's a baby with a melting ice cream. It's kind of dystopian a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I don't know exactly how malls were in the 80s. I mean, maybe this was the
maybe.
thing.
I mean, I think I did read that it was a good general idea or example of, 80s lifestyle and fashion and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the mall we had when we were growing up wasn't anything like this. Granted, we were living in such a small, dying town, as it were, that not really a lot of people went to the mall anyways.
No, a lot of stores shut down. It's from what I remember, I haven't been there in years, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's pretty vacant.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, we at least had an arcade.
Yeah, I mean, I liked hanging out at the arcade.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager, and then before that, I was a Claire's kind of girl.
Claire's.
My mom would go get her nails done in the salon in there, and I would just, hang around Claire's or something.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Yeah. Well, we were poor kids.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Anyways. So after the credits, we meet Allison and Susie, who are friends who work at the same nasty mall, pizza Italian place. This place is gross. Mm-hmm. The chef is covered in grease and dark stains and stuff. And then they're making these fat jokes about this guy in the corner who is just going to town on some food and just making a nasty mess.
Yeah. Yep.
It's pretty gross.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty gritty and gruely. So Susie is trying to talk Allison into coming to a party, kind of like this party / blind date / makeout sesh type thing, where these other couples are going to be staying the night partying in the mall at the furniture store.
Yeah. It's such a great, fantastic idea.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I mean, we saw this idea also in the Elf movie where they sneak into the mall.
Elves.
Yeah, elves.
Who can forget elves?
Yeah.
Fucking God damn it.
You just realize what your life is. You had this moment of clarity of these things you've seen. And that was funny to see.
The fuck, elves?
And then it clicked.
Oh, shit.
It all came back to him. It was his
man.
life flashing before his eyes, guys. I wish you could see his expression.
Such a terrible movie.
So anyway, there's also this storm happening outside this particular night.
Yeah.
And then somehow, does it hit the mall?
I think so.
Yeah, something happens where the lightning affects the robots.
Yeah.
And brings them online or something. It's not really, it's never explained.
Well, I think it really is just Skynet wirelessly downloading some
Fucking it is
kill
like that.
scheme shit.
It is. It honestly.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Honestly. So as this is happening, the computer guy who's supposed to be watching the robots, or it's the mall engineer guy.
Yeah.
He's looking at nudie magazines, and And while he's doing this, one of the robots come online and kills him.
Yeah, kind of jabs him in the throat. Yeah. I mean, it did leave a nice wound in his throat. Yeah. And I mean that the special effects for that were pretty cool, but
yeah, I mean the special effects on this one, it's not horrible or anything.
No, I mean I wish their blood was a little bit better. Like their blood's a little too bright.
Yes,
it's too bright red.
It looks like red ink.
It does.
It looks like straight up red ink.
Listen, folks, if you ever need to make special effects blood, okay, here's what you do: you get you some Cairo corn syrup and some red food coloring. And a little bit of blue and green food coloring as well. Also some starch, okay, to give it more viscosity. Mm-hmm. And voila, really good fake blood on the cheap.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. Just watch out for the ants.
Oh, yeah, that would. And the stickiness, oh, my God.
It would get sticky real quick.
So over at the Furniture King, Ferdy, Mike, and Greg are kind of hanging out, and Ferdy's uncle owns the place or something like that.
Yeah.
And Mike and Greg work there with Ferdy. Mm-hmm. And Ferdy is like this nerdy guy. He looks like he's a nice looking guy who is kind of buff a little bit, and they just threw a pair of glasses on him.
Yeah.
Because the actor is very nice looking. But Greg and Mike are trying to convince Ferdy to hang out with them and do this like secret party thing in the furniture store.
Yeah, come on, Ferdy, you can't back out now.
Yeah, because they don't want Ferdy to tell his uncle that they're partying in the store, which Ferdy seems pretty fucking cool. He doesn't seem like a narc to me.
No, but I mean, he just don't want to get in trouble, which is understandable. I mean, nobody wants to get in trouble. I mean, some people might want to, but you know. I don't know. Ferdy's a good dude, though.
Yeah, Ferdy's a good guy. I like Ferdy.
Anyways.
So there's also another couple coming to this party that don't work at the mall. Like the only couple who is, married as well is Rick and Linda, who have like a mechanic shop or something together. Mm-hmm. And they're pretty cute. They're a cute couple.
Yeah. It's also funny how their little like mechanic side gig thing is never talked about.
Like, I think it's mentioned once, and then, like, later on, he asked about tune-ups or something.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Also, Linda convinces Ricky to do the party by showing him the fancy underwear she's going to be wearing.
Yeah. But when we first see them, though, their truck is broken down.
Yeah.
And Rick is trying to get it started, and it won't start. So they decide, we're going to switch. Linda's going to try it. And she gets it first try, of course. And I just like, is that supposed to be like a jab at his masculinity or something like that?
I guess it's supposed to be funny because woman fix car better than man.
Yeah.
Ha, funny.
Right.
Because woman not no car.
Comedy.
This is...
It's the 80s.
Yeah, it's 80s. It's, an actual B movie where this was... regular thing.
Yeah.
So then we also have Mike and Leslie who are together, and Leslie is works at the mall at a clothing shop for her dad.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, and then her dad shows up.
Yeah, her dad does show up. It makes it kind of awkward.
Yeah, because Mike and Leslie are making out. Mm-hmm. And her dad is just like, what's going on here? And they're just like, oh, well, we were just talking about this birthday party. Yeah. There is no birthday party.
No, they're going to hang out in the mall all night and do what couples do.
Also, this 30 seconds is the only time you ever see her dad in the whole movie.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, was it necessary? Was that necessary?
I think they were trying to make layers of these characters.
To add complexity, I can see that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like, it's really just like a throwaway thing.
It really is. Yep.
Yeah.
So the plan is to set Ferdy and Allison up together, if you guys didn't know.
Yeah.
That is the point of the whole thing, pretty much. And also it is because the guys are trying to convince Verdi again not to like be a narc. Yeah. So they think by bringing him a girl to hang out with will like win him over, kind of. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a selfish thing that these people are doing, but also the matchmaking is actually really good.
It is.
It's really good.
They do fit together pretty well.
Yeah, it was actually really good. I think the girls are a little more genuine about the whole thing, especially Allison. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yeah. At that point, we go back to the mall engineer.
Oh room, yeah.
And there's a new guy in there now. And the phone rings, and he's like, "Hello? What do you mean? Who is this? You called me."
What a line.
Yeah.
What a line.
And then, he winds up catching this fucking like, it's not because the robots have like these sleep darts, but it's more of like a
pellet kind of thing.
Because it's attached to like a wire thing, but it's like a claw thing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, but he catches it in the back.
Yeah, they have it's like the tasers that has the claw thing, and it's retractable and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he kills the second guy.
Yep.
So there's no engineers down there watching the robots or whatever.
Nope.
The gang kind of are in the furniture store because the mall is closed, and it's getting to a point where around midnight it's going to be locking up. Mm-hmm. And the kids are just like partying, dancing.
Yep.
Verdi meets Allison, and it's a very like love at first sight thing.
Yep.
All while all the other couples are like dancing and making out in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Verdi gonna get laid.
Maybe, but not tonight. Not tonight.
Yeah.
So then the protector robots begin to do their duty and get on their shift. There are 3 robots on 3 different levels, and they just start roaming around.
Yeah.
And I think they see everyone in the store kind of dancing, and then they don't go after them right away for some reason.
Yeah, yep. I don't know if the bots really know what they're supposed to be doing.
I don't know.
I mean, their brains are kind of fried right now.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
So, yeah.
Brain fried.
Yeah, so interesting.
And then the couples start to get freaky, a little frisky and stuff.
Yeah.
You got Mike and Leslie. Mm-hmm. Greg and Allison.
No. Greg and Susie. Rick and Linda.
Allison and Ferdy. Okay. So they're making out, but Ferdy and Allison are watching old horror movies.
Yeah.
Together, and it's really cute.
Like everybody else is getting in beds and on a couch or whatever to get down to business, and Ferdy and Allison's just watching monster movies.
It's super fucking cute. It's so fucking cute. They honestly, the way the writing for these two is really sweet. It was really good. So Allison has this also ability that where when she takes her shot, she makes it.
Yeah.
And she like throws a cup into the trash, like from like behind her or something. Mm-hmm. It does really good. And he's like, nice shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, girl knows what she wants. Allison is not like timid or shy or anything. I don't think. Like she knows.
At this point, I was like, "Oh, Allison's gonna get laid."
I'm enjoying. Also, there's a Dick Miller sighting in this movie.
Yeah,
he plays a janitor.
Yeah,
and he has a confrontation with one of the robots.
Yep,
and ends up getting electrocuted to death.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's very interesting because he's like mopping the floor, and these other janitors show up and kind of poke fun at him or whatever, and the janitors fuck off, and then there's another bot that comes up and it knocks over the fucking water bucket after behind him, and he's like, "Oh, what the fuck? You're making a mess," or blah blah blah, and then it asks him for his badge, so he pulls it out and he's just still making fun of it or whatever, and then it shoots out this fucking wire, and the wire is just laying on the floor next to him in the water, and then it electrifies the water and kills him. So very interesting. But yeah, I was like, oh, he can survive gremlins, but not protector bots.
No, can't provide that electrocution. Nope.
Yeah.
So Leslie has to have a cigarette and sends Mike out to get them. And he remembers to take his badge because he knows about the robots because it's been a week. So people know about the robots.
Yeah.
Also, titties.
Yeah. Titties. You do get to see quite a few.
Yeah, there's actually a good bit of titties, but I mean, again, this is.
Yeah. Also, smoking's bad for you.
Yeah, don't smoke. Smoking's bad.
Don't do that.
So the cigarette vending machine is wild. So Mike finds the cigarette vending machine that's like down the way or whatever, and that is like anyone could just go up to a vending machine and like buy cigarettes. That's crazy.
Okay, well, hold on a second now, because you're old enough to remember cigarette vending machines.
I don't think I ever saw like a cigarette vending machine like in real life. No.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Odd.
And I guess I was never really in a place where there was a cigarette vending machine that I can think of.
I mean,
but then again, I don't have the best memory because I have trauma.
True. I remember when I first joined the Air Force, when I got to my technical school, in the lobby there was a cigarette vending machine of my dorm. So yeah, you could just go down and buy cigarettes if you wanted to.
That's such a like early 2000s like military fucking thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I remember cigarette vending machines. Mm-hmm. I mean, hell, and there's vending machines for everything. You know, in Japan, you can get eggs out of vending machines.
I mean, there's vending machines in Japan that you can buy cigarettes, but you have to apply for a special card so they know you're like the certain age and stuff.
Ah, okay.
And that's the only way you can get them is you also have the card with you.
Huh. Yeah, but you could just take somebody's card.
I mean, sure, I guess you could borrow one, but...
No, you steal it.
Okay, Troy.
Anyways.
All right. So then one of the robots finds Mike, and Mike is like, here's my ID or whatever, and the robot's like, nah, that's not good, fam, and kills Mike.
Take that, you heathen. Whoosh.
Okay, Troy. Why?
The bot just shows him what's what.
Well, he kind of like knocks him out and then clips his throat. True.
Yeah. Because we don't actually see Mike die. Mike dies kind of off screen
the robot goes after him and Mike tries to like flee out this door which is locked, and the robot hits him with the thing that puts him asleep, the tranquilizer or whatever, and he falls to the ground, and the robot takes his little clampy hand and clips at his throat.
Yeah, but we saw him move towards the throat, but we didn't see him do it. Did we?
I'm pretty sure we did.
I don't remember seeing it. Granted.
Yeah.
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 But anyways. Yeah. What's super funny though is Mike, when he's standing there at the fucking vending machine, for some reason the fucking payphone behind him rings.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The payphone rings and he turns around and answers it, and he's just like, hello? No, Jamal, there haven't been any messages for you. And it hangs up. And we're left wondering, who the fuck is Jamal?
Who the fuck is Jamal?
I don't know.
Payphone culture is crazy.
Dude.
Payphone that is crazy.
Yeah, well, the cell phone killed the payphone, dude. It sure did.
It sure did. So Leslie gets tired of waiting for Mike to come back and goes out the mall to look for him. She finds his body near the cigarette vending machine, and he's dead. And then the robot appears and begins to chase Leslie down. He's like shooting the robot shooting lasers and stuff and keeps missing.
Yeah. I was like, somebody need to get these projector bots a plasma rifle in the 40-watt range.
Then she runs past the furniture store, and everyone kind of just watches while Leslie gets murdered by this robot. Like he shoots her like in the head, and like she like explodes a little bit and falls over.
Yeah, it's kind of comical. I mean,
everyone's just like somehow just watching outside the window at the same time perfectly. And they just watch as she just dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, bye, Leslie.
And the robot says its famous line, which is, "Thank you, have a nice day." After killing her.
Hey, at least they're nice about it,
I guess. So the robots then decide to go after the rest of the party by just destroying their furniture stores, just rolling in through the window. Everything's crashing. People are running. People are screaming. It's chaotic. Mm-hmm. They then escaped to the storage room, and they're able to barricade themselves, and then the mall starts to close down because it is midnight.
Yep.
So you get all these metal doors and windows clamping tight very dramatically.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely some I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in here with me type shit.
Yeah, it is a little bit. So Susie's not the strongest person. Susie starts to freak out and starts to fall apart. The guys get the great idea, or is it Allison who gets the idea? One of them, I think it's Allison, who points out the air duct. And they start to go into the air duct to escape to the parking level. Mm-hmm. And as they're doing this, the three girls get up there, and then somehow the robot shows up again and starts to chase them in through the storeroom, which apparently has a back exit.
Yeah.
Why did they not just do... Why?
I don't know. Well, I get that they were trying to save the women. But at the same time, it's like, bro, strength in numbers and such. You know? They can handle... at least Allison.
Allison can handle shit.
Yeah.
Right. So the next few scenes are jumps from the boys being chased by the robot to the girls in the air duct, which apparently is really hot. Yeah. And they're struggling to get through it. They're sweating and stuff. Susie is really losing it. Mm-hmm. She is losing her goddamn mind. Yeah. She is like, it's hot in here. They're trying to fry us. I got to get out of here. Greg needs me. Like, she is gone. Girl has lost it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it did look like they were like melting inside that duct.
Yeah.
So I can't blame them. I'd want to get out of there too. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little claustrophobic myself. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the idea of crawling through a tight space like that and being hot and being trapped, that's not nice. I get it, but damn, girl, you got to pull it together so you can get out. So the guys end up going to a sporting goods store, and they start to just kind of get some supplies.
Fucking guns, dude.
Yeah.
They grab a propane tank. There's a shotgun, and they grab what looks like a AR-15, and there's just guns all over this damn place.
Yeah.
Like it's ripe for the pickings.
Yeah. So Susie finally freaks out enough where she's like, okay, I gotta get out of here, and she leaves the air duct, and Allison and Leslie go after her. Mm-hmm. And she's just like not listening. She's not cooperating. She is being that type of person who panics in the situation you're not supposed to be panicking in. Yeah. Which, whatever.
Yeah. Well, she's gonna get got. That's what happens.
The robots start to move around the mall again, searching for all these intruders. The guys start to load the elevator with propane and propane accessories.
I'm laughing at how you spelled it. Was that intentional?
No, of course not. I wasn't. No, you hush. It autocorrect to that, and I was like, fine, whatever.
Oh, man, it's so funny, though.
Yeah, well, it's okay.
Anyways. Fucking sneaky bots, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, one of the bots stumble upon the girls who have made it to the same level as the guys, and they try lighting it on fire. Not sure. Anyway, Susie falls in the middle of this very wide walkway. Plenty of room on her left, plenty of room on her right, plenty of room ahead of her. And does she get up? No. She sits there, she screams and cries as the robot kill her.
Okay, but to be fair, she had been shot. She had been shot with a laser.
Roll out the way, girl.
And I'm not saying that in her defense, because I have a lengthy fucking thing that I typed out.
Go ahead. You know what? You get into it.
First off, I think it was Greg. Greg says something along the lines of like, "Do you think Mike got out all right?" And I said, "No, Mike, in fact, did not get out all right."
No.
And then, on the topic of Susie, I said I would have just knocked her the fuck out. Okay, like, bro, stop screaming. You're giving away our position. Okay. Also, she gets hit in the leg with the laser, seemingly can't walk. And then when lit on fire, gets up to try to walk it off. Like,
yep.
The fuck?
Yep.
Like, somebody could have fucking like grabbed her or something. Like,
she could have. There was so much room. She could have rolled away. She could have crawled. Her leg wasn't that lasered off. You know, like she still had it.
Yeah.
You know, drag yourself, girl. Drag yourself.
Like, I didn't feel bad for her. I didn't.
Yeah.
Like, at least the screaming has stopped. I'll take that.
True. So Rick tries to kill the bot with a shotgun. And there's more running through the mall. And finally, they kind of lure the robot into the elevator. And everyone starts blasting. Everyone has got some sort of gun or a pistol or something. And they start shooting at the propane tanks on top of the elevator. Yeah. And everyone is missing. And then Allison gets in there. And damn it, she get that shot. She got that shot so good. So impressive. She puts her foot up on the railing and looks at that propane tank and goes, "That's my bitch." And like shoots it. One shot.
After she hits it, she has this look on her face like she's just fallen in love with this fucking gun, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, she wants to take it out for a nice dinner and then take it home to bed.
Jesus, true.
You know?
Wow. Okay. So after they explode the one robot, they barricade themselves in the Italian restaurant. And Greg is been mad because his girl died because she was crazy.
Like, bro, it wasn't a big loss, okay?
It really...
I'm telling you right now.
You don't want to be carrying that weight around, you know? So there are still two robots. Greg is also as crazy as Susie was, honestly. He's starting to get really into like the thought of like killing the robots and getting revenge.
Yeah. He gets super upset with
Allison.
Yeah, Allison. He starts arguing with them and like points the fucking shotgun at him at Ferdy. Mm-hmm. Like, bro. Yeah. Like, I know your girl died, but it ain't that serious, bro.
She did it. Like, he was like, "Why did you let her do that?" And this is like, What? What do you mean? Yeah. What was I supposed to do? You just should have told her no, bitch.
Yeah,
listen here.
Like, why did you let her get out of the duct and stuff? And it's like, fuck you, bro.
So they decide to go after the robots, and there's more running around the mall. Greg gets ahead of the group and goes up the escalator and calls out, "What are you guys waiting for? It's clear." Just as a robot comes up behind him and pushes him off the ledge.
I'm doubting that Greg even fucking looked around.
No, he got because he was dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you just ran up there. You could see what's in front of you. And then as soon as you turn around, there's a robot. Yeah. Bro, what were you looking for? What are we looking for the same thing? It's right there, honey.
He got up there, stopped, looked down at his shoes, and was like, "Yep, my shoes are still on my feet." And then turned around like, "Everything is good here."
Okay, so they run into a department store and are able to put the metal grate down. Mm-hmm. And right before they run into the department store, Rick jams the door, where he takes this like little flimsy piece of metal and jams it into the chain of the pulley.
Yeah.
Okay, dude, these are robots with lasers.
Fucking classic.
That's not gonna do shit, bro.
It's the classic stick in the spoke trick. Hell yeah.
What's that gonna do, bro?
It'll slow them down.
So they're holding up in this department store Linda's line of like, what is it?
She says, I'm just not used to being chased in the middle of the night by killer robots.
What a line. That's just grade A writing right there.
Also,
that's special.
At this point, I was trying to figure out if Ferdy was short for something.
His first name.
I think it's Ferdison.
I think it could be Ferdinand.
I don't know.
I think Ferdinand.
I don't know.
So they fall asleep and they wake up to the sound of the robots breaking in because they have lasered their way through the metal door. Mm-hmm. Yep. That jamming, Rick, really prevented these robots.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah.
Really did. Allison is ready to fight for this stuff. And they set a type of trap with the mannequins and try to fool the robots.
Yep.
It doesn't go as planned because then Linda and Rick die.
Yeah.
Leaving only Ferdy and Allison alive.
Yeah. I do not understand why Linda let herself go out like that, because she was literally just standing in the middle of this fucking
huge
corridor.
Space.
Yeah. And she's just like, go on, we gotta go, and all this stuff. And she just gets shot by the fucking robot.
Ricky's trying to fight the robot, and she's like, Ricky, come on. And then gets shot, and then he gets mad. Linda gets shot, and Ricky gets on this little, what would you call it?
I don't know. It was like a little fucking cart thing.
Like, you know those things you can get on at the airport that drive you around?
Yeah.
It's like that, but smaller.
Yeah.
And so he gets on this little motorized vehicle and runs into the robot.
Yeah, which seemingly destroys the robot. But Rick dies in the process.
Yeah, Ricky gets electrocuted.
The robot blows up, and then we see Ricky in the next shot, his body lying next to this fucking explosion, which has clearly been swapped out with a mannequin.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at least I applaud them for their use of resources, I guess.
I mean, it's not a bad idea.
No.
It's good. It's smart. It's funny.
Yeah, and you're caring about the safety of your actors, too. So, I mean, that's good.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, with only Allison and Ferdy alive, they split up to continue to look for the computer. Because the computer controls the robots and the doors and stuff to the mall. And, they're trying to get out. And when they do this, Ferdy doesn't want to do it, doesn't want to split up, but Allison's like, we got to get out. we need to split up. We need to find everything. And convinces him that he'll hear her if she needs help. Mm-hmm. A few minutes of them wandering around, the robot suddenly shows up behind Allison and she screams, and somehow magically Ferdy arrives by her side within like seconds.
I don't understand why he didn't just give her the gun.
Honestly, that's a good fucking question, because Allison is the fucking ace.
Yeah.
And Ferdy doesn't do shit.
No.
Ferdy did nothing.
I mean, he's quick.
Sure, but he didn't. What did he do?
Nothing.
He didn't put in the work. No. Allison did.
True.
So Ferdy shoots the robot, damaging its laser, and then lures it into the mall. The robot then throws a fire extinguisher and knocks Ferdy in the head.
Ferdy tried. Yeah, he did his best.
At least he lured the robot out, so
true.
Allison could get away.
Yeah.
Allison, now alone, makes a run for it.
Yeah. Poor Ferdy. He took that fire extinguisher like a champ.
Yeah,
though.
he did. The next 20 minutes of this movie are Allison running and hiding from the robot. Allison hides in a pet store. The robot comes into the pet store of all the stores in the mall and knocks over tanks and frees these snakes and spiders that begin to crawl on the floor towards Allison and get up all in her space.
These poor snakes and spiders and shit, because she's just lying in the floor underneath this shelf
trying to cover herself with like dog food
up. And these spiders, they're like tarantulas and stuff. They're just crawling all over her. And you can tell, like, I mean, if I were in her situation, I would be having a pretty bad time, because just creepy crawlies crawling on you and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways,
she didn't like it, obviously.
True. And then when the bot, fucks off, she gets out from underneath the shelf, but the spiders have been clearly replaced with fake spiders.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, they just kind of like fall to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have this shot of the big outdoor space, like dome and stuff, where the sunlight comes in, and there's all these flags. They look like pride flags, and I love it. They're all like pink and white and blue, and there's some like yellow and red ones and stuff. I'm like, hey, slay! Like, yes, we love that.
Oh man.
Representation is important. So Allison then is able to escape being found by the robot by holding herself up or down the railing. Like she is literally like, what is it, like dead holding her weight over this railing?
She's just like hanging from this railing, and she has to have like incredible fucking upper body strength,
because it's like 2 or 3 minutes that we just watch her hang off the side while the robot like does a little turn around.
And she like shimmies down the railing a little bit, and that also takes a lot of strength. So she's a beast.
Oh yeah, Allison is a beast. Allison is the number one. So she falls from the railing eventually, and she kind of sprains her ankle or something. She's kind of hurt.
She lands in this like tent thing. Yeah.
And then she finds the paint store and begins to just pour all this paint and like paint thinner onto the floor.
Yeah.
Like all that paint, like gallons and gallons of paint.
There's a lot. Yep.
Yeah.
But I love how she got into the store. She just kind of pulled her sweater up over her head.
Yeah.
And just ran through the door.
Yeah. Like she has this pink sweater over this button up, and she just pulls it over her like arms together and then over her face, and like rams the glass and breaks it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's creative.
It is.
Yeah, sure.
It is. I mean, I have seen a way where you can, depending on what type of glass it is, you can just walk through it. I mean, it depends on like how you hit it. Like if you hit it with your forehead and your foot at the same time or some shit like that, it'll just shatter.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's absolutely crazy. Please don't try that at home. Don't do that. Allison cooking up something for this robot. The robot is then lured into the paint store, and then Allison lights that shit up with a flare saying "have a nice day," and then blows the robot up with paint.
Yep. I mean, he was literally doing like donuts in the paint, and then she says something about she says the "have a nice day" thing, which for some reason echoes. Like there's like a lot of reverb to it or some shit like that. And then he tries to come out of the store, or it tries to come out of the store. She throws a road flare in there. So big bada boom.
Big bada boom.
Yep.
She walks away from the explosion and sees Ferdy waiting for him on the stairs. Great job, Ferdy.
Yep. He says, nice shot. This motherfucker. I was like, you literally just let her handle it and hid out somewhere, huh? Like, you mean to tell me you've been unconscious this whole fucking time?
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't even dead.
And he wasn't even dead.
Yeah. I mean, good for Allison because she loves him, but damn.
Well, I mean, at least somebody does.
So, Chopping Mall was directed by Jim Wynorski. He also helped write the movie with Steve Mitchell. The two of them came up with the story in just one day, like we said earlier, I do believe. Mm-hmm. It took about 5 weeks for them to finish this movie. That's fast.
Yeah.
That's a fast movie.
Well, I want to say it was 5 weeks to finish the script, and then they were filming for like 22 days. But wow. Still, that's still really fast.
That's less than a month.
Yeah.
That's crazy. They made the picture under the Concord Pictures company.
Right.
Yeah, it's a B movie. You had Julie Corman, who is the wife of Roger Corman. So I think we see a lot of his, influence there. If you don't remember who Roger Corman is, audience, he also helped produce a little movie called Humanoids from the Deep, which we did an episode about.
Yeah, a long time ago.
It was last year. We did the episode last year. That's not a long time ago. But it's a funny movie. No, it's not. It's not a funny movie. It haunts Troy and I. That's what it does. It haunts Troy and I.
It is a movie. I will say that. And as far as like Roger Corman movies go, yeah, it's about par for the course for that. This movie cost about $800,000 to make. It was first released in March 1986 under the name Killbots, but not many people went to see it. They later changed the name to Chopping Mall and made some edits, and then re-released it again in September of 1986, but only in a few theaters. So they tried.
I don't know. I kind of like Killbots better than Chopping Mall.
I think Killbots fits better.
Yeah, but I think they really wanted to hit that like mall type of audience. You know, they're looking for that mall mall lifestyle type of thing.
Yeah, the vibe.
Because that was like a whole culture thing in the 80s.
Yeah.
And the 90s. Like the mall was a big social area.
Right.
So they did use Sherman Oaks Galleria, which is still a thing. It's still open nowadays, by the way. Mm-hmm. That mall was also used in Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Commando. Some outside scenes were filmed at the Beverly Center, which is also in LA. Yeah.
A lot of filming happens in LA.
Yeah, imagine that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Weird. So Kelli Maroney plays the main character Allison Parks. Director Jim Wynorski picked her partly because he liked her personally. According to a 2018 article from Bloody Disgusting, he had seen her in a few other movies and said, quote, "I wanted to date her, so I figured the one way to make that happen was to put her in a movie." The movie also features a few well-known actors from horror and B movies such as Barbara Crampton, Dick Miller, Mary Woronov, and Paul Bartel. Dick Miller plays Walter Paisley, the janitor, the same character he played in an older movie called A Bucket of Blood. Yeah.
They built 5 robots for the movie, but only like 2 of them actually worked. And then the third one, they kind of had to like manually move and pull around. Mm-hmm. Director Jim Wynorski also did the robot voices himself, which were changed obviously with sound effects, but he's the one who is doing the whole like, "Thank you, have a nice day." That was pretty good actually. That wasn't bad.
Thank you, have a nice day. Anyways,
in the movie, I mean, it didn't make a lot of money at all. Like, honestly, I don't even think it made really good money the second release. But, it was kind of popular for VHS and TV. Yeah. And, it is a part of culture. And some people like how it displays the mall culture of the 80s. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of ties into that whole consumerism thing, too, that we saw in a lot of other 80s movies, like They Live, for example.
Well, this one, I think, is a good lesson about AI.
Okay.
And how some jobs aren't meant for artificial intelligence or, machines, like the safety of humans.
I mean, I agree to an extent.
Yeah.
I would say
there's some leverage there. There's a little leniency. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, with the technology we currently have, as opposed to what they had in the 1980s, yeah, you could possibly have autonomous security bots. In
a certain way and to a certain extent, yeah, sure. But not in the extent of this movie.
No.
A little far-fetched still, I think. Yeah. It's getting there, and that's kind of scary, but also exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was Chopping Mall.
Alrighty.
Yeah. How do you feel about that one?
Oh, I'd rather watch Cyborg again.
You would rather watch Cyborg. Cyborg didn't have anything to do with a cyborg.
To be fair, you saw like 30 seconds of Cyborg in Cyborg. So anyways, what's up next week?
So next week we are watching Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. This one's a little older, but it's a must watch for us. Definitely.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's a lot better than Chopping Mall.
We'll see. Okay. We'll see. We'll see how you feel.
Alrighty. Well, that sounds like a blast. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's about all the time we had for today.
Yep.
So thank you all for listening to And I Made Him Watch. You can find this episode along with all of our other episodes on YouTube, Spotify, Patreon, and wherever you get your podcasts. You can also reach out and contact us at our Facebook, our Instagram, our Blue Sky. We're also...
You okay?
You can also find us at our website, www.andimadehimwatch.com.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, until next time, stay spooky.
Bye.